The back and forth over tariffs has left so many of us dizzy, trying to keep up and concerned about our financial well-being.
Yeah, just so you know, we're dizzy too.
Right?
It's not, but that's not the only issue worrying Americans right now. A lot of people are kind of trying to look to their political leaders for something that's stable and coherent and a plan, and they don't always find it.
Yeah, it's tough. And one local lawmaker, of course, seemed to sense this when he took a swing at history. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey channeled all this uncertainty in his record-breaking speech on the Senate floor.
And joining us now with more is Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. So good to have you. Thank you for taking the time for this conversation.
It's so good to be back with you all.
Thank you. First off, let's talk about the big national and really international tariffs, of course, the big news. And we know that you have particular interest. We have those two big ports, Port of New York and Port of Newark. What are small businesses telling you right now? And just kind of what's the temperature where you are? And what are your fellow Democrats trying to do to stop this with all this economic uncertainty?
Well, I mean, that's it. I'm hearing from New Jersey businesses, Republicans and Democrats, with anger and outrage that a president would create this kind of chaotic business environment. And they're worried. They're worried not only about their businesses, but so many of these tariffs, because there's still 10% tariffs on all countries, and then you add that on China, the extra, that they're going to have to pass those cost increases on to consumers. So you have a president right now who's causing chaos, who is unfortunately making us lose jobs and increase costs and putting pressure on small businesses. And one thing that businesses need is certainty. And we do not have an environment of certainty right now. We have a president that makes bold statements, takes actions, then caves to pressure, then turns around and takes another action. And it's just creating a bad business environment that we now see big economic indicators showing a greater and greater potential for recession.
But Senator, what do you say on the other side of it who say, well, ICE just wants to work with correctional facilities because there are people that have committed crimes who have come from another country, not people who came here looking for help, but people who have committed crimes here. We want our city streets safe. So why shouldn't they work together, our correctional facilities and ICE?
Yeah, again, we want to get dangerous people off the streets, but what we are seeing is quite the opposite. 60 Minutes has documented that so many of the people being swept up right now are people that have been obeying by our laws, contributing to our economy, strengthening job creation, that have family, whether it's their children or spouses or parents who are American citizens. So absolutely, we should be focusing and targeting our immigration enforcement towards dangerous people, but that is not what's happening.
Let's talk about that tragedy that's unfolding in the Dominican Republic right now. The number keeps going up. This was a very popular nightclub in Santo Domingo. And what are you doing for the people that are in your area, and what's your take on it?
Obviously, the Dominican community is strong in New Jersey. In many ways, they've been supporting me since I was a city council person. When you see a tragedy like this happens, you've got to do something, and I'm grateful for many of the people in New Jersey who are gathering together, reaching out, finding how they can help the victims of this horrific tragedy.
One of the biggest things, the thing that is top of mind, is your record-breaking speech on the Senate floor. And we have to talk about it because you spoke, sir, for 25 hours and 5 minutes on March 31st, breaking a record as you stood there. And that record was set back in 1957 by, we know, Strom Thurmond of South Carolina. He was a noted segregationist. It seemed poetic what you were doing up there. Why did you feel that it was so important to speak out in this way? And how did you do it?
Well, first of all, we were hearing from constituents in New Jersey and really all across the country that they wanted to see their leaders do more at a time that Social Security was in jeopardy, that Medicaid, which supports 70, 80, 90 million Americans, health care, that people were seeing what was happening to veterans and veteran care and more, do more. And so this was an answer to my constituents to the length I'm willing to go to stand for them. And in my speech, as you saw, we wanted to center our constituents' voices that weren't being heard enough. But preparing for it, I'll tell you, first of all, before I get into the specifics, you and I both know that I take inspiration from a lot of New Jerseyans who do 2 shifts at a diner or a restaurant and do a third. People who stand on their feet at hospitals around the clock. There are a lot of New Jerseyans that show this kind of fortitude. And so for me, I prepared by fasting from 3-4 days ahead, started to fast because I knew that I wanted to try to stop my biological functions, if you understand that. I stopped drinking for about 24 plus hours beforehand to dehydrate myself.
2028 is coming up pretty soon. Is that what we're kind of getting towards?
Well, I want you all to know I will be shamelessly coming back on this show because I want the people of New Jersey to understand I'm running for re-election in 2026. I hope I can earn New Jersey's faith and confidence in me again to continue to working on behalf of our state. I am proud to have set a record in New Jersey over the last 6 years in bringing more money back than any Senate and congressional delegation has ever done because New Jerseyans send a lot of money to Washington. I'm happy to be fighting for it and getting more resources back for our state.
We like how you didn't answer the question because you said 2026, not 2028.
That's all right.
But we would welcome you back anytime. Thank you.
I
Senator
so appreciate
Cory Booker,
you all.
we appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us,
Thank
Cory.
you.